Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today is a message about the messengers. The call. You hear the birds in the back gawking? The call. The call to teach. The call to prophesy. The call to join the body of Christ. Okay? I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention, but if you are on my channel and you follow the channel, I'm sure you have been noticing the presence of the ravens. I want to say it's the ravens. I don't want to say it's the crows. I believe it's the ravens. The ravens. Blackbirds everywhere. Now, I began the beginning of this year to begin to see birds like I never seen before. I even had a sanctuary on my property, and they had their babies there and everything. It was beautiful, and they made themselves known to me because they would just stay on the ledge for hours upon hours and not move, and then once spring kicked in, I seen all the little baby chicklets, all the little baby birds playing in the yard and being birthed. So that was something that I took note of. Then I began to see the presence, because that was like the beginning of the year. So that was winter, right? And then going into spring is when I seen the baby birds, but then in spring is when I started to see the ravens. I mean, I've never seen ravens on the planet like I've seen them this year, this spring. They had tons of babies, so I would see them, then I would see tons of babies all around, right? And taking note of this, and I'm like, what's up with these black birds? I'm thinking black darkness. I'm battling witchcraft at the time. I'm like, okay, are these birds connected to monitoring spirits? What's the deal with them? So I'm still in my mind thinking this is some kind of harmful association connected to it. And perhaps there might actually still be some kind of monitoring spirits connected to them. However, I'm going to take it as a dual message, right? Because every time I seen these birds, they were talking up a storm. And I mean, when I tell you I seen them everywhere. Okay, and this was on the East Coast, right? Now I've left the East Coast and I traveled throughout the country, and they're in every part of the country. Everywhere. I've never seen this before in all of my 37 years on planet Earth. Okay? Now, what I do know is that after the solar eclipse, okay, matter of fact, not after, the day of the solar eclipse, right? I had, my altar lit. And when my candle burnt down, completing its burning on the day of the solar eclipse, okay, the candle was in the shape of a falcon, of a bird. Okay, so I said, what is this? What is this bird? What is this? So when I finally, after months and months, got revelation on what exactly this was, and then eventually, as I was traveling throughout the United States, I then began to have, like, when my window would defrost on my car or something, for say, that was one of the manifestations of the ibis, which is the ibis, or the ibis, which is the manifestation of the Egyptian god Thoth. He began to appear, and that's another bird. Okay, he began to appear, and I mean, he was coming through heavy as I was traveling through the Southwest and the Western states. And I said, okay, cool. So now, okay, we have the falcon. The falcon is connected to Horus, the Egyptian god, right? Who is a representation of the Christ, right? Thoth is also believed that Thoth and Jesus is one and the same, right? Jesus is the light of the world. Okay? Also, we do know that all the markings and the decodings of the eclipse was that it was judgment on America, right? So now we're dealing with birds. We're dealing with this raven. We're dealing with the Christ. The raven also represents prophecy, okay? So what has been prophesied against America, okay? Shortly after the eclipse, shortly, maybe a week after, that's when all of those tornadoes begin to ravage the country, okay? Ravage through. That's when the bridge collapsed. All of those things. I said, okay. So I'm saying this to say that this energy that is present right now is the energy in the return of the Christ, right? They said Christ was coming back with the sword. Destruction, to tear down old things, okay? So in the process of this energy manifesting, it also means now, right, that those of us who have been in the background in the dark, who have been sitting around watching all of these, I want to be proper in what I say, because we have been sitting back learning and being okay in our hibernation of just learning and just watching, but now it's the call for us to now come to the front. It's the call for the teachers, the messengers, the prophets to step up, the light bearers to now stand up and prophesy, to teach, to spread light, to lead. It's time for us to come out of the background, coming back from our moon energy, night shadow energy, and it's time for us now to manifest into the light. That's what the Christ is. The Christ is light. That's the sun. It is now time for us to be seen, going from the invisible to the visible. Okay? So this message is a call to all of you who may be like me, who didn't care about being in the eye. Like I'm fine just, learning and chilling and sitting back. But through this journey that I've undertaken, which I've been pushed into, they had to push me into it, is coming the realization that it's now time for us to sit on the throne, okay? It's time to get all those false prophets, prophets was swept out of the way. It's time for them to now go, and it's time to usher in the presence of Christ, the true Christ. That's us. So if you are hearing the call, don't be afraid. Don't be stubborn. The light is not for you. It's not for you. It's for the world. It just don't belong to you. It's for you to share. So I encourage you to come out of your hermit mode. Come out of your seclusion, okay? And shine. Know that, don't be afraid that if you are shining too bright, that you will be possibly killed or anything like that. Come out knowing that you are protected. They can't kill the sun. No matter how many chemtrails they spray over the skies. The sun ain't going nowhere. Just like you ain't going nowhere. It's your time now. It's your time to shine. And don't think that there won't be resistance, because of course there will be resistance. But you tough. You the sun, baby. The sun make the world go round. Without it, it's bye-bye. Night lights out for everything. Okay? So you can't go nowhere. So know that. Stand strong in your position and knowing that you are the light of the world. Stand strong in that. Be tough. Okay? Because opposition gonna come. But you the son, baby. Burn all that shit up. Burn it all up. Any opposition that come your way, set fire to it. You know? Fire. Fire, 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 and destruction upon anything that tries to obstruct your path and your light from shining. And the light of the world to be shined amongst all of creation. Burn it. Okay? Let's see. What else would I like to say? So we're dealing with judgment on America. So how is judgment going to come? Through nature. Okay? The beginning of the year, I seen, right? Because I see things, or things are shown to me, images in my brain, or maybe, you know, I don't know how these things manifest, but it's the psychic realm that I operate out of. I was sitting on my toilet in my bathroom, and I looked down at my radiator, and I seen a plane crashing down. And since the beginning of the year, the planes have been going down, numerous of them. Okay? I was so be mindful, you know, with travel now. Ask permission, you know, discern the times and consult whether it's a good time for you to travel and be flying or not. Okay? Consult before you just hop on a plane and go somewhere, because a lot of planes are getting casted down. Okay? I also seen in my shower, when I was showering, I seen the picture of what we know and believe aliens to be. Okay? So I know a lot of people are talking about this fake alien invasion that these elites are supposed to be creating. I don't know much about that or if it's true, but I've heard whispers of that. But perhaps these beings, whether they're good or bad, I don't know. I don't know what they come to do, but don't be surprised if you start hearing things about them, or you see them, or whatever, you know. According to the movies that we've been seeing, they all been coming to invade, you know, and to harm us. So just keep that in your consciousness, you know, because if you come in contact with them, like I said, you must be the sun. You must be the sun, and stand firm when dealing with anything alien and foreign to you. Okay? What else? We dealt with prophecy. We're dealing with the raven also represents it's a ill omen, meaning it's represents, like, you know, bad things happen, losses, you know. So perhaps we'll begin to see, you know, people who, what we've already been seeing, people who are up start to go, or just people who are not vibrating at the Christ frequency start to die out. And things, not systems, you know, that is not vibrating on the Christ frequency begin to die out. And what that looks like, it looks bad. It looks bad, especially for the ordinary people who have put so much faith into it. You know what I mean? Put faith into the system. So for those of you who have put in your faith solely into the system, perhaps, you know, don't be alarmed when you begin to see your world, the world that you invested in, crumble around you. But do know that there is a greater world that is coming. There's a greater world that is entering. So there is no need to fear. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? Let's see. We dealt with teaching, prophecy, light bearers. Thoth. The Ibis, right? Thoth is like the god of wisdom and knowledge. So right now, knowledge and wisdom is increasing. That means light is penetrating the planet like never before. So to all the light bearers, right? You're going to have to sit down like myself. You know, there are our human duties that we still got one foot in the world and one foot out of the world as we going into our godhood, right? And going into our Christ. We still have our one foot in. for the most part. So I have to make time. I left everything behind just to get this knowledge. This is how much I believe in this knowledge. I believe in this wisdom. And I believe in the light, that I've left everything behind. I've given up my home. I've given up, my way of life. I've given that up because I know that it's imperative. Like, I given up my, what do you call it? I wouldn't say I necessarily given it. I've given it up because I wanted to give it up. So I left it. So I don't want to say I gave it up. I left it because this here is the most important thing to me, and I know that this is where I need to be, in the knowledge. And anything that was taking me away from the knowledge, I had to let it go. I can't be working as light bearers. You came to teach. I'm telling you now, you came to teach. You understand? So you can't be giving your energy 100% to anything else, because when you working and out there just, slaving and constantly just working and running in a circle, you get tired and drained. When you want to come back and study, come home and study later at night, you ain't got the energy, to do it. You know what I mean? And I be damned if I ain't gonna have the time to get closer to God and know what I need to know as thy kingdom come, and I'm supposed to be a ruler. Light bearers, we are the priest of the world. We are the kings and queens of the earth. We have to have this knowledge. You're going to have to stop all of that stuff and trust in God and know that God is going to take care of you every step of the way. Okay? And now God gave me training. And I was born into this, really. I was born for this, really, because all of my life, since I become a young adult, I ain't never been really dependent on the world. All I ever had was God to depend on. So I'm not like most people who probably, depended on the systems of the world to take care of them. I've lived supernaturally. I want to say all my life, but really conscious, and I was conscious of it early on. I was conscious because I remember things I was saying at 8, 9, 10. I was conscious, but at the level of awareness that I am now, like I would say, since I've been a young girl going into world, 17, 18, you know what I mean? I ain't had nobody but God to rely on, and I've lived supernaturally all throughout that time. So it was nothing for me to get up and move and know that no matter what city I go to, no matter what country I go to, when I step down in that area, I know that all God's children are going to come to me and make sure that I am taken care of, and help guide me. My spirit guides in those areas will be there to help, guide me, and all the resources that I need will be in those places. This is God's planet right here, right? This is our domain. It's rich everywhere we go. There's resources everywhere we go. So I have that knowing and that understanding. So I had to leave the old world behind because it was sucking too much of me. It's taking too much of me. I couldn't get as much wisdom as I needed. And light right now is upon the planet. And for all you light bearers and teachers, you have to grasp it. You got to take a hold of all of this right now, because we need you in every inch of the planet. We are counting on you to be filled with light and to lead the people and to usher in the kingdom. So you're going to have to decide. It's going to come a time now, okay, where you are having to leave that job. That job ain't your source. God is your source. And I am a witness to it, y'all. I tell you what I know. I don't tell you nothing that I just heard or I think of. I've lived supernaturally since a teenager. I'm 37 years old. I ain't never wanted for nothing. In fact, I might have lived, quote unquote, maybe better than people who actually, you hear all this noise interference in the background, right, as I'm trying to get this message out. But anywho, I lived, like I said, supernaturally since a teen all the way into adulthood up until now. It's never stopped, okay? I didn't have no degree, when I tried to go to college, and there's been times when I've tried to join the system and God would come through and he stopped me. He told me not to be a part of it. And when I was young, I didn't understand. Why these things were happening, these events were happening. And I felt like I was being blocked, from doing the things that I thought was the way, the way of the world. And he was trying to tell me, you don't belong to that. You belong to this. And this is what is to come. So finally, after some years, y'all, maybe like the last 2 years, when I was about 35 years old, I had worked hard because I was really trying to get in to be a part of this system. I really was fighting to be a part of this world. And finally, God gave me the opportunity to be a part of this world. And let me tell you, when I got the ability to be a part of this world, I regretted. I said, Lord, I see why you didn't want me a part of this world. This is craziness. I was stressed out. I was working like crazy. I couldn't prepare healthy meals to take care of my body. I got high blood pressure real quick, probably had diabetes, who knows, but I knew my energy had went down. I started looking bad, skin got bad, my mental got bad, my vibration dropped. So it was easy for witchcraft to attack me. You know what I mean? I started just having low patience for bull crap. Like I was just very antsy, I just, had no patience. It was just it was against my soul and against all the things that God told me I was and who I was to be. So I knew that I needed to make a change, and I knew quite early in those 2 years that this life that I was in wasn't going to work out for me. I began to see that, hold up, this creation that I just created of entering into this world, it has me on a never-ending cycle of, it's like I can't get out of it. It's a cycle that I'm in. It doesn't allow me to advance, to elevate, to make more money or anything. It's like I'm stuck here. And in order to get out of this, I got to break out of this. It's comfortable. I got a house, I got a car, I'm fed, I'm okay. But my soul ain't feeling this. My soul likes freedom. My soul wants more, So I had to kill that creation. And I understood why God was keeping me out of it for so long. He said, I done took care of you all of these years. Now you want to go out there and try to take care of yourself based on their system? Oh, you gonna find out. And I sure found out. It ain't nothing in that system but death, okay? Stress. It's just, it's unnatural. It's just unnatural, and it's just death. Being connected to the matrix is death. We choose life over here. And we want to spread life and light to the remainder of the people and the inhabitants on the planet. Okay? So I say that to say, trust and know that God will take care of you. So even after I left my job behind, I left everything back, and I got in my car and I decided to ride. And I said, there's more. I know that, number one, I know that I'm rich. I know I'm supposed to be rich. You know what I mean? I know since I was younger, I'm supposed to have money. I'm supposed to live in luxury. You know what I mean? And the creation that I created in the system, it's set up for me not to get where I need to go based off where I'm at. It's designed for only certain people to get there. If you can get there, then wonderful. But I also knew that I was called to do something greater. All the stuff that I had learned, I wasn't just supposed to hold on and keep it to myself. I got to pass this knowledge on. Think about all the people that's died with knowledge as to why we in darkness now. We trying to come up out of it, Like we had to wait for the internet to hit for knowledge to be increased, because so many of our ancestors died with the knowledge. And not that they did it on purpose, but a lot of them, because of the war, especially I'm talking to those of us here in North America and America, our ancestors were killed off, early through this drug war. Through just coming in contact with colonialism. That system is unnatural to us. So when we coming into their orbit and assimilation, that was killing us. So our people wasn't even surviving assimilation. So we didn't have no grandmas. I ain't have no grandma, no great grandma, none of that, because they were dead because of coming in contact with colonialism and slavery. All of that stuff, it killed our people. So there was no knowledge to be passed on. I had to scrape and scream. I had to pray out day and night. God, increase knowledge. Give me wisdom. I had to pray every day. And believe me, when you pray, for an answer to any question, I don't care what question you got, you make sure that you put it out there and ask God, what do I do about this? I feel defeated in this area. The light will come in. The answer is on its way. And it's coming faster now, because I see, like, now my answer's like some things took a while in the past to come answers, but now things are moving like rapidly. Things are accelerated now. The answers are coming quicker. So I encourage you, if you in those jobs, it's time to leave that behind. It's time to fully get into ministry. It's time to fully tap into this knowledge. Fully giving it your full dedication. And of course, whatever thing that you've created, like things that's indispensable, like for instance, I have a child and I still have to be a mother. I still have to mother. So I can't forget about that and just end that. I incorporate that into my work that I have here to do, but it is time to, cut down your screen time, unless it's educational. You got to be very disciplined when you're on these devices because there's a lot of distractions. It happens to me all the time. And sometimes I actually need it because sometimes getting so much light and information, you got to process it. And sometimes you need a break from it. So it's okay to have those little entertainment, leisure moments. But if you want to more so indulge in more entertainment than knowledge, and you are called to bring light to the planet, then it's time to put those disciplinary actions in place and begin to get more study in, okay? Because it is time now for the kingdom to be ushered in, and we are counting and depending on you, okay? So it's time to get disciplined. It's time to leave the world behind. It's time to get these downloads, and it's time to parrot out this information, prophesy, teach, okay? Shine. That's what we are here to do. Okay, so let's see again. Let's go back. So I said that to say, just know that if you do decide to leave things alone and you fully invest into learning and then your ministry, just know that all things will be provided for you. There's provision for you. There is manna for you. Believe me, I don't want for nothing. Nothing. I'm okay. Always. And listen, another thing that's going to be helpful to y'all is sometimes I don't have the physical money that I need, but God is going to make a way. He instantly, and I'm talking about rapid. So we have to have the knowledge and understanding. And one of the big things that I'm working on right now too, just getting it, reinforcing it into my brain, is that I have a never ending supply of resources and money. Okay. Our resources are in the spirit, right? And we just draw them out. So it's like the spirit, our spiritual bank, we just have to go to the spiritual ATM and make withdrawals, okay? And how do you do that? You do that through prayer. You do that through sound. There are sounds that you can play that invoke money angels. You understand? So you're going to need to know the science of how to bring money down here too. So sound is one thing that I use a lot. Just praying, just asking is another, and what else? And just doing some chants, some money chants, just reaffirming this prosperity in your consciousness. So it's there. So you never fear, and everything is always working out for you. So for instance, I had a car repair and I know where the hell I'm going to get the money from. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, I've been driving around with the check engine light on shit for miles. I done drove cross country and everything been all right. So shit, it is what it is. But it come time where I had to re-register my car. So I had to pass inspection, and with the light on, it didn't pass. Sure enough, listen, God made sure that there was money for me. A man that ran the shop, he made sure that I didn't leave out of that shop without getting my car fixed. Otherwise, I would have been overthinking and hold on, let me consult with God. Should I get the car fixed or not? He was like, okay, no, you're going to do this, and this. And boom, money was released to me instantly to get the repair done. It was a hefty repair, So just know that you going into this full time, you will be taken care of. You might not be rich. You ain't gonna be rich, right? Because our rich ain't the rich that we see of the world. Our rich is different. It's a richness within the kingdom. It's where there's no lack, no worry, no stress. There's peace. Ours is more things, more. What do you call them? Tangible, intangible, or what we say? Tangible things. Hold on, daughter.
I'm thirsty.
Okay, you gotta wait a minute. So the things that are richness to us is our peace, our joy, community, kingdom, our worship. So our riches ain't gonna look like the world, but just know for every need there is whatever you need for yourself. So anything that you need, it'll be there. So hopefully for all of you who are light bringers, the desire for worldly things have gone, because what God did allow me to do was they knew that I was young in spirit, and with the power they had given me, there was going to be things that I needed to experience before I could really go into my queenship or my kingship. So those things I wanted to do, travel the world. I wanted to, buy nice things and just do nice things and have the money and live what we call the quote unquote lavish life. I was able to live that. But then once you do it, for me anyway, my soul was above that. It didn't need that anymore. I experienced it and it's nice, but there's so many things that money can't buy, that are priceless, that I enjoy because I enjoy them. And I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, things that I wanted to do. I done did it, I love my country. I love being here home in America. I don't need to travel nowhere else no more. This is my home. And for those of you who are teeter-totter wondering if you should leave America, you tired of the bull crap that goes on here against you. No, this is your home. You don't need to go nowhere. America's not too expensive. No, you need to be here pretty much. This is where you're going to fight on your grounds. This is where your ancestors have been for the last 400 something years, and they're buried here. I remember there's an African proverb that says something about pretty much not going too far from your ancestors' burial site. I forget exactly what it is. I wish I knew what it was, but it just pretty much made me know that no, I didn't need to go back to Africa. I needed to be right here and in this land, and not to go far from their burial site as far as going to live and stay. This is our home, and trust me, don't go nowhere else. If you need to, get that experience, and obviously you have to get that experience, but I'm sure you'll come around and be like, okay, America is home. That's what I love, and that's where home is. So the battleground is here. Ain't no running, ain't nowhere to run and hide to, ain't no escapism. The way we're going to get ourselves out of what we see, that feel and see that we are in, is through the light, through knowledge. Knowledge is our war, okay? Knowledge is our guns, okay? The knowledge and technologies of God, those are our weapons, and they are mighty. They are mighty, and they bring down carnality. They bring down and destroy weapons of the world, believe me, okay? So again, let me do a recap because I want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. The bird, you hear them over there going crazy, right? So prophesying, we dealt with that. The call for you guys to come to the front, get on those podiums and begin to teach, preach, and prophesy. Come out of hiding, okay? The prophecies over America, expect for those things to be occurring within this 7-year window. We begin to see the tornadoes. We've seen those, right? Well, now we're in hurricane season, so anybody living in those low-lying areas, be prepared, be mindful, have enough money to where if you need to get up out of there, you can take a flight, or you could just drive right on out, or have you a room in a nice big hotel that's above ground where you can be pretty safe in, what else? Anybody on those earthquake faults, okay? Be mindful, just be prepared to have your resources together so that you can get up and go ahead of time, or just keep your ear close to things and be watchful of the signs to know when perhaps you might need to switch locations so that you can miss that quake. So we dealt with water, and now fire, volcanoes. Anybody in those volcanic areas, know that they will also be erupting, okay? So in the wildfire area, so anywhere over there in those very dry places, I think Northern California, places like that, be mindful and just, be ready to get up and go. There will be enough time as long as you're tuned in for you to escape those natural disasters that will be coming, that will be speaking to the corporation called America as warning signs for it to get itself together, or complete annihilation is coming upon the land. But know, chosen, know, light bearers, know that though these things are coming to the land, they will not touch you. There's a scripture that backs that talks about all hell breaking loose all around you, but your dwelling and where you are will be the dwelling place of the Lord, and you will be protected and you will be safe. Okay? So just don't worry about it. Just be aware. So also, this is a call to any of those light bearers who are what we call hot and cold, or you ain't quite picked a side yet, but right from wrong, So there's a saying, if you partake in her, it says, come out of her. So if you haven't come out of her and you're partaking in her, then know that judgment will be coming to you as well. Though you are actually supposed to be on the side of protection, you will actually get caught up in her destruction. So make an exit immediately. Okay? Let's see. We talked about judgment, prophecies, and just knowledge. Know that the knowledge is here. Don't spend no day. You should be spending a couple hours getting this knowledge into your brain and increasing. Not no day should you not be learning something, and not no day should you not be having revelation, because light is here. It is here. Okay? So pick up those books, pick up those phones and get those YouTube videos, pick up those phones, get those articles, sit outside in meditation, ask what you need to ask, tap into the Akashic records, and everything will be downloaded unto you. You will have all the knowledge and information for everything you need. Your compass is activated. And with that being said, I hope I articulated myself properly. I hope this message came across clear. I hope I wasn't long-winded. I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope that it motivates you and inspire you to step up and step out. With that being said, peace.